Welcome back to the Boostly Podcast, episode 762. We are in January and I've just been filming some of my first videos that are going to be launched on a brand new solo channel. I'll put all the links up very, very soon. But this podcast is going to stay exactly the same. It's going to be a mixture of behind the host, shining the spotlight, and I'll jump in every now and again just to have a chat, say hi, and give you some other little hints and advice. Today's hints and advice is other content creators that you need to be following and watching in 2025. These are people that I know personally or people that I've been following from a field, but these aren't going to be your typical names. These content creators aren't going to be ones that are off the top of your head. These are ones to watch. These are ones that you should be checking out because they bring new voices. They're doing things differently. They're doing things their way. Some names you will recognize, some names you won't, but if you do start following these on their social medias, you will become better for it by the end of this year. It's a mixture. I've taken a look at the list and turns out they're all from America and Canada. I think they're all American. I don't want to say, I don't want to assume. But unfortunately, there's none from over in the UK and there's none from over in Australia or Europe. So if you are not on this list, if you have not caught my attention, and if you are in these countries, A, do better. B, let me know. Okay, so content creators. What is a content creator? First and foremost, it is somebody that puts out content like this for others to consume. It could be on YouTube, it could be on LinkedIn, it could be on X or Twitter, whatever you call it. It could be on TikTok, it could be on any of these social media channels or search engines, and that's where people pick it up to put down. And I follow all of these. I regularly follow all of these, and I become better for watching how they put their content across. And so if it's on my radar, I think it needs to be on your radar because we have thousands of people tuning into this. And I know that I'm not the only one that you watch as much as my ego would love that to be. I know that's not the case. And like I say, everybody on this list, they're not going to be, the big content creators that you all know, Sean Rocky Geach or Rob Abbas Solo or any of those likes. These are ones that are up and coming or ones that are already known, but ones that you definitely have to have on your radar. So the first one is Mr. Zach Bougie Cruz. And now I guaranteed that I have mispronunciated his surname, but Zach is somebody that I've known for a while. He has got a podcast. He's built several companies. He's exited several companies. And the way that he goes about creating his content, the way he goes with his podcast interviews is way above what anybody else in this space is doing. Go and check him out on LinkedIn. Go check him out on his Instagram. The first things that you will notice with his podcast series, Behind the Stage, I believe it's called, he actually goes and flies and travels to the people that he's chatting to. So we have a series here called Behind the Host. Liam and I, we don't travel to the place. We jump on a Zoom call. We have a chat, about 30, 45 minutes, done. The level of production that must go into his videos and his episodes goes far and beyond anything that I could imagine. I can't even imagine what the budget is, what the spend is, time allocation is, but the output of it is phenomenal. The videos are fantastic, and he's had on some really big guests. For example, My First Million, Sam Parr, he interviewed him, and there's so many other big people. He's interviewed one of our content creators that I'm going to be shouting out in a second. He is somebody, when he uploads a video, I go straight away to watch. And it is, it's awesome to be able to jump into his WhatsApps and ask questions. It's a fantastic person to sort of chat to. And he is one, Zach Bougie Cruz. Again, hopefully I've mispronounced or pronounced his name correctly, but definitely one to go check out. Number 2 on that list is Isaac French. So Zach has gone and interviewed Isaac. Isaac, if you don't know, he's probably biggest and well known for being on X, being on Twitter. He has also been a guest on My First Million as well as many other podcasts. He grew a short-term rental business called Live Oak Lake. Live Oak Lake has been featured by some of the biggest content creators on YouTube, never mind our industry. And since exiting that business, he has gone on to create a newsletter and a membership called Experiential Hospitality, which I'm very fortunate to be part of in the background. And he just consistently pushes out better and better content. His Twitter threads are well known for. And, he's just a very clever mind. And again, if he's one that isn't on your list of people that you follow, whether it is on Instagram, wherever it is on Twitter or LinkedIn or wherever, he should be. That's Isaac French. Now, the next up on the list is Mr. Eric D. Moller. Now, Eric is no stranger to this industry. He's been around for a while, but he's terribly inconsistent. I feel like he hates social media, but he knows he has to be on it. But when he does appear and he does add his insights, it's something that I always stop to pay attention to. So for me, Mr. Eric Muller, who has got a company with his business partner Jasper, he's got Free Wild or Stay Wild, one of the two. He used to have, or maybe has still, Overnight Success, which was his coaching program that him and Jasper were part of. Now they've got Free Wild, which is, cabins for the modern explorer. When he puts content out, you've got to be able to go and check it, whether it is like him on a podcast, having a chat, how he's building his business from scratch, how he works within teams, how he creates teams, the culture and whatnot. Again, I personally have got a lot of time for him, and he's absolutely massive. I think I'm tall. You think I'm tall with 6'2". He must be touching 7 foot. A beast of a man when you see him. But again, somebody that is really, 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 really one that you need to have onto your list. Next up, we are going over to New York, and we're going to be focusing on the Mount team, specifically Maddie Rifkin and Casey Evans. Now, as a duo, these two are disrupting how vendors get in front of consumers in this industry. They have zero ad spend. They do it all virally, and they rack up hundreds of thousands of views, whether it's on TikTok, whether it's on Instagram or wherever, LinkedIn. And, I love watching them in action, especially the Mount brand, because they do it in an infotainment way. They do it where it's fun, but they're getting across their point of view. And they are building a following, not with content creators, not just with other vendors, but also with short-term rental hosts as well. They know influencer marketing down to a T. And they've started to do workshops now on the topic matter, on how to get in front of content creators, how to work with content creators, etc. And if you are not following Mount or Maddie Rifkin or Casey Evans, then you better be doing it in 2025, because they are just giving you a masterclass from just following them on how to create content. So well done. And again, I'm a massive fan. Next up, we've got somebody that you may have known from being a travel influencer, from somebody that is not famous, but well known on Instagram for traveling the world and creating content. So a travel content creator, but now he's venturing into the other side of the world. So this is Mike Ionetta, otherwise known as Mike Will Build. I'm sure it was Mike Will Travel, but this is a chap who, again, has been more behind the scenes with his company that he created, his marketing company, working with hosts, working with fellow Boostly clients, Evergreen Cabins being one, and having fantastic impact behind the scenes. So if you see Evergreen Cabins, they've got such social following. That's because of, Mike and his work behind the scenes. Whether he still works with them or not, I'm not entirely sure. But now he's got Mike Will Build, and he is documenting him starting up his own short-term rental business on Instagram and the like. And again, he knows how to create content. He knows how to get attention, and he does it in such a really cool way. So Mike, I know that. Now, on Instagram, it's Mike Will Build, at Mike Will Build. Don't worry, if you need to know these tags, I'll make sure that all of them are included in the show notes, in the description. So please go and click down there and do go and check them out. And we'll give them a little tag on socials if you're watching this as well. And last, but no means least, Mr. Patrick Switek. Now, again, Patrick is not a new face, but he's one that I feel like his following is going to skyrocket over the next year. With all the things that he's doing on social media, and he has really crafted out a niche in this industry of buying management companies and selling management companies and doing all those things and building a go-to sort of presence in Joshua Tree. It's one that I think everybody needs to be following in. Again, funny guy, nice guy. He's just got one of those personalities that people gravitate to. I've known him for 3 years now. And again, is somebody that whenever he posts something online, I go and check it out. and I go and follow. He has a podcast. He's got all of those things. And like I say, he's somebody that I think that you all should be checking out. Fellow hospitable host as well. And I think he's been part of a documentary as well, something that's going to be up on potentially the TV this year. Again, I may be making that up. Who knows? He'll confirm it in the comments, no doubt. So those are your content creators. Now, again, if you're not on the list and you want to be, drop in below. Tell me why. If you feel like you know somebody else that should be on the list, drop in a link and tell me why in the comments below. Now, I actually have one more. I've got one more. I forgot about it. There's one more I'm going to just shoehorn in. And it was on my notes at the top and I've scrolled down and he wasn't there. I'm going to blame it on ChatGPT who helped me compile this list. But Mr. Matt Kruger. Now, this is one that I pretty much guarantee you a lot of you won't even know of. But he is somebody that is growing a massive following on TikTok, getting bigger on Instagram. And again, he's creating content in the right way. He talks about his experiences. He shares his results. He shares his numbers. So revenue, profit, loss. He calls out some of the bullshit that he sees out there. And he does it in such an entertaining way that obviously he's got the attention of vendors that are out there. So vendors pay him to create content for them, which is otherwise known as UGC, user-generated content. And apologies, Matt, that you were no way not meant to be on this list. You are on this list. I just scrolled up and saw you there. But there you are, Matt Kruger. Now, he is otherwise known better as Rental Cashflow. His handle on Instagram is Rental Cashflow. I'm sure on TikTok it's the same. But again, these are the ones that I think you should be following and watching. Again, if you're not on this list and you feel like you should be, then drop a link below. If you know somebody who should be on this list, drop a link below. If you're thinking, oh, why have you not got any representation of X? Then drop a link below on who I should be following, who I should be aware of. And again, this list is no means we stop here. There may be so many others, but drop a link below. Let us know. Send your handles in. These are mine. These ones that might caught my attention. But I think my main sort of feedback for everybody here, and especially vendors who are building online, is to show a bit of personalization as you are doing this. Don't try and be corporate, stock up and feel like you can't post about X, Y, or Z. Showcase you, showcase your team, have a personality. Don't be afraid of upsetting a few people. And that's my final takeaway as we go into 2025. Hope you've enjoyed this. If you want to see more of these, then let me know. But we'll be back next week with another podcast.
Having a blast, gonna get it on the Bruce Lee podcast. Bruce Lee like Bruce Lee, cause it's so hard and the T is loose leaf. Making up those rhymes, don't write it, just do it loosely.